been wrong about someone you know. Not because they lied to you, not because you misunderstood them, but simply because you didn't know the whole story. I remember being at a public speaking event and seeing a girl get on stage. She looked so confident. She talked clearly. She carried herself like she knew exactly what she was doing. And I remember thinking, wow, she's really confident. And at that point, in my mind, I had already created a story about her. Confident, comfortable, probably not nervous at all. But later, I got the chance to talk to her. And I found out something I didn't expect. It turns out she had been nervous too. She had been nervous before getting on stage. She just decided to do it anyway. And suddenly, the person I thought I understood was much more complicated than the version I created in my head. Because I had only seen one part of her. I had only seen the version on stage. I hadn't seen what she was thinking. I hadn't seen everything that happened before she stepped onto the stage. I had seen a frame, and I mistook it for the whole story. And then I realized I do this to myself too. I remember failing a physics exam once, and almost immediately my brain turned one bad result into an entire story. I'm bad at physics. Physics is my worst subject. I'm just not good at this. And suddenly one exam wasn't just an exam anymore. It felt like evidence about who I was. But when I really thought about it, what did that exam actually tell me? It told me how I performed on one exam. It didn't tell me what I could learn. It didn't tell me how I would perform the next time. I had took one moment and turned it into an identity. And maybe you've done that too. Think about the last time you failed at something. Maybe it was an exam, a competition, or maybe a mistake you made in front of other people. But what did you tell yourself that moment meant about you? Because maybe the failure was real. Maybe you really did mess up. But was the story you built around it the whole picture? Or had you taken one frame and decided it was the entire story? And this doesn't only happen with people or with ourselves. Take social media. You see someone on vacation. They're on a beautiful beach, surrounded by friends, and everything looks perfect. And for a moment you might think, wow, they're having the best time. And maybe they are, but you don't see the flight delay. You don't see the argument they had that morning. You don't see the 27 photos that didn't make it onto the story. And this doesn't mean we should become suspicious of everything. This happens beyond social media too. A headline can make us feel like we understand an entire event. A 30-second video can make us feel like we understand an entire situation. But seeing something isn't the same as understanding it. Because that's not the whole story. So the next time you catch yourself judging someone or something based on one moment, or defining yourself by one failure, or comparing your entire life to someone else's carefully selected frame, pause and look again. Ask yourself, what am I not seeing? Because maybe the most important question isn't whether what we're seeing is true. It's whether we've mistaken the frame for the whole picture. Thank you.